Number 16. Let's get into the tricky stuff. Lewis structures. All right, so we're going to draw the Lewis structures for the following molecules. We've got iodine bonded to bromine. All right, well, let's draw the 7 valence electrons here, 7 valence electrons here. I hope you can see that these are going to be the two shared electrons because these are both unpaired. They're both unpaired electrons. And so the bond is going to occur right here. Right here. 2 electrons bonded right there. Here we have a central carbon surrounded by 3 hydrogens and 1 bromine. By the way, it does not matter if the bromine is here, here. It's just as long as there's 1 bromine and the other 3 spots are hydrogen as A-OK. So the hydrogens want to have a total of 2 electrons, and so they'll form their bond. That's fine. Bromine is coming to the table with 7 valence electrons, and so it's going to form a bond with one of these unpaired electrons on carbon. Here's where we start to see the importance of the multiple bonds. Okay, so this side of carbon with the hydrogen is easy enough. This side of the carbon with the chlorine is easy enough. Those 2 electrons are being shared to form a bond. But we have a whole bunch of electrons in the middle here that can also be shared, and by doing that we can satisfy our octet rule. 2, 4, 6, 8 electrons around this carbon, 2, 4, 6, 8 electrons around that carbon. Boom, we've satisfied that octet rule. Let's look at this silicon, this central silicon surrounded by 4 chlorines. Okay, we can see that silicon was coming to the table with 4 unpaired valence electrons, and so that's going to be 1 for each of these chlorines, and so we can see our bonds being formed right there. And then we'll end with F2O. Right, oxygen is the tricky part here. I'm hoping you guys are very familiar with fluorine by now. It's got 7 valence electrons, only 1 unpaired electron in each. Oxygen is going to have 2 areas in which the electrons are already paired up. Okay, they're called lone pairs, but it's going to have 2 different unpaired valence electrons, and it's those electrons that are going to come over here and form the bond.